Alright, let's see how we do on here. Topwater Tuesday, folks, on the Delaware River. Watch this guy on smallmouth Delaware River style Topwater Tuesday. We're out here Tuesday morning, seeing what we can do. That one came on the Zip and Ziggy. They are aggressive. 3 times to hit that too. Whoa, he came off. Hopefully you saw that aerial stuff there. That was cool. Boy, first cast with it. Little guy. First cast with the Z-Man. Not a big one, but back into some action. Not a bad fish. Zip and Ziggy. Strong in that current. Not even that big, just a little guy. Boy. That was a good one. Dang. There we go. Another one right here. Come back. Got it. Ooh, this is another nice one. Yes. Right out here for the launch. That's the best spot. Alright, we got this one. Yeah, careful. Good one. We're in a section here where we'll see if we can catch a few more. Zip and Ziggy.
You know, it was so hot out there today, I decided to do this part of the video in my car with the air conditioning. Well, we were out this morning. It's Topwater Tuesday morning. We were out for 2.5 hours. We had limited amount of time. But we got out on the Delaware River and we did some topwater fishing. This time of the year is really tough to catch fish there, or it gets tougher. I mean, you could always catch fish, but the Delaware gets tough this time of year, July, August. And the reason for that is the water's very warm. It's at its lowest point typically, unless there's bad storms, which there was not. The water was low, and when it's this low, it's the clearest it is all year. And that's why I go to topwater, because when you have that extremely clear water, the fish can't get a really good look at your topwater lure like they can at certain baits under the water. So it's a good time to throw topwater. And I'd like to go through the baits that I was throwing today and then give you some additional baits that I typically like to throw in these conditions. So the first bait is one of my mainstays. It's this one here. This is the Lucky Craft Sammy 65, and it's just a really good little bait. Today it seemed like it was only catching the littler fish, so I changed the bait pretty early on. And what I changed it to was this. This is a bigger bait, the Zip and Ziggy, and I caught my bigger fish on this today. This is the Cultiba Zip and Ziggy. Another bait that I really like throwing in the river is this Z-Man Shad Z. It's a floater. I just use a wide gap hook like this and just throw it out there, and I kick it along the surface and make it dance and dart. And they really like this bait. But again, today it seemed like only the little ones were going for this. And I also caught a few on the Megabass Karashi. This is a good bait. You can fish it on top or just barely subsurface, and again, the fish I was getting on this were smaller. Now let's show you some of the other baits that I really like to throw in these conditions. So the first one is this one here. This is from Mega Bait, not Mega Bass. It's Mega Bait, the Mega Bait Chihuahua. And I've caught a lot of nice fish on this over the years, smallmouths and even stripers. It has a real nice slide to it, a real natural look in the water. It's pretty slender. The profile is fairly long though, and so it's a perfect middle ground bait. It's not too big, it won't overpower, but it's not too tiny either, and it's a really good bait to throw. And I tend to catch big fish on this. Can't find it anywhere either. You got to get that on eBay. Then I like to also throw this. This is the Jackal Riser. This one I'll use as a topwater. It'll sink if you let it, but if you reel it fast, it stays on the top. And it really imitates fleeing bait fish, fleeing shad, or something that's trying to get away, skipping along the surface of the water. And today wasn't the right conditions to fish this, but I hope that I'll find those conditions sometime soon and just make a video fishing this, because this is a special bait. When those fish are chasing, when you see fish chasing and you see those little minnows jumping out of the water, this is a really good bait to throw for that. This is the Megabass Dog X Jr., another really good topwater bait. Just didn't get to throw it in the rotation today. This is the Piku Piku. I think Jackal makes this. It's a really interesting bait. It really looks like a shad, especially this bait becomes more, I throw it more in September and October when those little baby shad are surfacing both in the river and on our lakes, because this thing looks like just like one of those shad. And the way you fish this is you actually attach it to the back here and you just move it like this ever so subtly. So you're not going to cover a lot of water with this bait, but if there's activity and fish hitting, or if you're fishing cover, this is a really good bait to throw. It gives them a very different look, something they haven't seen before. This is a lure I like to really cover water with if I'm not sure about what the fishing situation is. It's the Evergreen Shower Blows. I think this is a 100 size, or it's the small, no, I'm sorry, it's the 77 size. Yeah, 77.7 size Evergreen Shower Blows. A dynamite bait. You can make this thing do a lot of things. Walks the dog well, spits well, great bait. This is an old Bagley shad imitator here. It floats high, it's a balsa bait, and sometimes I'll just throw this out and let it float down the river and not do anything with it. Just let it glide down the river, slide down the river like this. And sometimes they don't, the bass, the smallmouths don't want a lot of action. They just want an easy bait to go up and crash. And then when you get one of those days, it's hard to beat this little shad style bait here. You know, you can't come to a river situation fishing like this without a few poppers. This is the Teeny Pop R here, and this is just some off-brand, I don't know, maybe Walmart brand. It could even be a Jan's Netcraft brand, I'm not sure, but it works. Both these little poppers are good baits for smallmouths. Here's another popper. This is definitely one from Jan's Netcraft. They're cheap, but they work, and this has a really natural look to it, that ghost minnow look. It's a good bait and a good color. And then last but not least, I've got a little Heddon tiny torpedo. They also have a teeny torpedo, which is even smaller than this, but the tiny torpedo, just ripping this forward and making that blade move. Sometimes this bait can be dynamite as well. That was my lineup for today. Obviously I didn't get to fish nearly that many baits, but I like to have those with me just in case the fish want something different, or you know, in case I need to mix it up in order to catch more fish. Just gives me more options, and all of those are great baits to have in your topwater arsenal. Well, that's it for this Topwater Tuesday. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see a review of the Zippin' Ziggy, this is a special lure. Take a look at this right here. Until next time, be safe out there, and as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.